What's going on, guys? Welcome back to your pre-market watch list today. Once again, the camera stopped working for no reason. You wake up, you turn your computer on, you do nothing different, and all of a sudden your camera doesn't work. Story of my life. I hate technology. Either way, let's get into this watch list today. Today's watch list should be, pretty straightforward, pretty quick, pretty easy for the most part. Really, the only thing we're probably going to be watching is the stock NEO stock scanners to alert us of something we don't already see happening, and then maybe following some of the marijuana stocks because of the news of the bill that had just passed the House or been approved by the House, the Safe Banking Act. So let's go ahead and we're just going to jump straight into NEO. Pretty much put it this way, we're expecting or hoping that NEO can turn into a long. We've been waiting for NEO to finally get out of this bottom, finally reverse. Today might be the start of it, or we might be very close to doing that. For those that follow the channel religiously or all the time, you guys will know that we mentioned that we didn't really expect NEO to finally turn into a long move until we got to the end of this wedge. Once this wedge fully developed, that's where we probably start seeing the move back to the upside on NEO. So based on yesterday's trading activity for NEO, we're thinking today is going to be a long day, and this might kickstart, or yesterday might be kickstarting the move back up for NEO. So you can see we crashed on NEO not too long ago. We went through this big dip, got bought up really strong off 34. Yesterday we start today going up really aggressively, gets sold into, comes all the way back up. So yesterday we start really strong, gigantic selling in the market, and then the market returns all the way back later in the day. So this is like going all the way down and then coming all the way back. So it's as if this whole sell-off didn't even happen, or this bounce was so strong that it just engulfed the entire selling activity from earlier yesterday. So therefore, I see this as a very bullish momentum kind of play or setup happening, because to sell down this strong and then come all the way back up to highs right after selling off, it's kind of like, what was the point of selling off then? Oh, it's probably because we might be trying to go higher. So for me, this was kind of a bullish signal. I liked it. So we're going to be staying on the long side of NEO. Now for price targets, if we look at the daily chart, the first price target we have to go for, which is at $38.71, and that's probably going to change once the market opens. I think it's going to be a little higher, so pretty much put it this way, just like 38.70s to 39 or so is kind of like the target zone. And ideally, what we'd want to do is get through that price point and then hold above it. Now, the way this works is most oftentimes, we don't hold above it. We actually are going to go to it, we're going to reject it, and then we'll come back over it at some point. But either way, for now, the target is up to 38 to 39. We want to be over that trend level at 38.72. And then if we can successfully hold over 38.72, whether it be today, tomorrow, next couple days, then we would look for the further price target up on NEO, which would be back all the way to 41.46. You see that trend line, 41.46. Where does it line up with? It lines up with the previous top here. So what people would say, hey, we have resistance coming up at this top point. They're not wrong, but realistically, it's the trend, right? So if you weren't running this system, you would say to yourself, hey, we have resistance, probably somewhere up here, in this high. So if the price of the stock gets up to here, we're probably going to sell off a little bit. Totally true. But realistically, the price target is 41.45. And this trend line is what's going to make the stock stop at what appears to be this previous top. So right now, we're looking for the market on NEO to get back up to the 38 price, sustain this price level, swing up to the 41.44. Now, the 41.44 to me isn't really a gigantic resistance. It's just a top point within this move. So therefore, I would anticipate we'll eventually break that and try to swing higher. So for right now, though, to make things simple, we're just trying to get up to the 39s and then get up to the 41.50s on NEO. All right, next thing we'll talk about is really not much, but we'll just kind of peek at CGC here, which saw a little bit of up movement, nothing too crazy so far. You can see it's just kind of grinded up. There wasn't a ton of volume. But if you look, say like SNDL, Sundale Growers up a little bit, APHA up a little bit. So we're seeing some of these marijuana stocks starting to kind of peak up, and start moving a little bit, all because it looks like the House has approved the Safe Banking Act, which should allow the cannabis industry to start banking with institutions, whereas before they were not able to, because it was still legal at a federal level. So, marijuana dispensaries and anybody in the marijuana business, it was really tough for them. It still is until this gets passed for them to bank. They'll bring in all this cash money and then they can't go put the cash in the bank. So a lot of problems still surrounding the financial services kind of portion of the marijuana industry. And so the Safe Banking Act should help improve that. And so a lot of the marijuana stocks are starting to peak up a little bit and get a little bit more interesting because of that. So hopefully this news might be able to reverse the downtrend that many of the marijuana stocks have been in over the past months or so. All right. Now, before we end up, calling it a day here on this video, because I know, like I said, it's going to be very quick, not a whole lot to really go over. We'll just touch briefly here on the SPY and the NASDAQ. So for those that remember, my recommendation was that we were going to see the SPY pull back to the 9 moving average very soon. The 9 moving average on my chart is that blue dotted line. So the recommendation was the SPY was going to be pulling back to the 9 moving average very soon. But the reason it was what was going to start it pulling back was going to be the pullback on the NASDAQ. So maybe before we look at the SPY, we'll look at the NASDAQ. So the recommendation was that the NASDAQ would go to all-time highs, very close to. We'd hit this white trend line. Once we hit the white trend line, we would start seeing selling activity. The selling activity on the NASDAQ, which is what was going to start the selling activity on the S&P 500. So for right now, the NASDAQ is working its way down. We just hit the 9-day moving average. If we're lucky, the NASDAQ is going to stop at the 9-day moving average. If we're not as lucky, we will see the NASDAQ go down to the price of $334.59 and then probably sustain somewhere at that price point. So for now, not sold on the market bottoming on the NASDAQ or the SPY just yet. I think we have a little bit more bearish trading activity to do today to bring the NASDAQ down to the 34.70s price. I think that's what I said. Or yeah, 334.60s, 334.50s. I think that's where the market really wants to go. So again, as the NASDAQ pulls back to support, that was what was going to cause the SPY to pull back. But the SPY does not have a trending support to really go to that's anywhere near close. So I figured that the move on the NASDAQ would really only cause the SPY to go down close to the 9-day moving average, which we've pretty much done. So overall, not looking for too much more downside of the market, just a little bit, and then I think we're going to ho-hum diddly-dum back up, and you'll start approaching back to all-time highs again on the SPY and on the NASDAQ. Okay? So realistically, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much today's watch list. There's nothing else that's really seemed all that interesting. What I'll quickly do is just run you guys through some other things that have moved today, just so you're aware. So again, we'll go top to bottom. KSU, penny stock this morning, not penny stock, sorry. This is a bigger stock, Kansas City Southern. Big gap up this morning, kind of swinging back down. I thought it was a penny stock. It's not. The other penny stock I was thinking about was YVR and BAOS. So BAOS, penny stock this morning, straight up, straight down. This is probably going to be dog shit. You probably don't want to do anything with it. YVR, the other one that went up. So this thing shot straight up, then it pulled back. This could be okay. I could see this doing something, but so far, it still kind of feels like garbage, okay? Next one on the list, XXII. Now, this I think is just up because of the Safe Banking Act thing. Or maybe this is something different. No, yeah, it's cannabis stock stuff going up. And then OBLN. OBLN was kind of the other last one here that started up after hours, kind of faded out. So there's a couple of these little gappers, but nothing's really significant. So like I said, we're going to be following mainly on NEO. We think NEO can be a good trader today. And that's pretty much what we're going to do. We're going to follow the scanners. We're going to follow NEO. Hopefully the scanners will tell us something we didn't already see in the market. They can give us some opportunity. But other than that, that's today's watch list. I hope you guys liked the video. Sorry for the video or the camera being down, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.